Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Late Winner Show. Today, we are gathered here to talk about Arsenal. I think every one of us are surprised with their turnaround this season. I think after that shambolic defeat to Manchester City, 5-0, was. I think everyone was on the bandwagon of Arteta out, hashtag Arteta out. But I guess that's definitely changed now. People are more of supportive, and I think it should be based on the play, based on the based on the football that Arsenal's playing. I think Arsenal fans should be very excited and going into the next game, and we'll definitely preview it a little bit as well. The next game, the next big game that Arsenal has against Liverpool, and if they win it, they just leapfrog them in the Premier League table as well. So that's some really exciting news and a really good fixture coming up in the next week. But to discuss all that, I definitely needed to invite an Arsenal fan onto the pod and ask their perspective, his perspective on what how Arsenal are doing in terms of from his perspective. I have Sankalp from Understanding Football. How you doing, Sankalp? I'm definitely saying I can already answer your question saying yes. I'm very happy.
Yeah, man. Same. Very happy with the progress that we have shown over the last, 7, 8 weeks. Really good.
Do you mind introducing a little bit about your work and yourself as well?
Sure, sure. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm Sankalp. I work in India. My primary, work is as a HR business partner for a French organization called Alstom. We work on metro projects in India, provide signaling expertise, and also create some train coaches, and that's what Alstom does. On the secondary front, I like to use my time, writing about football and FPL. These are the two key interest areas for me, and it helps me really take out that work pressure, right? It helps me chill down a bit. So it's a game that I've been following for 22, 23 years now. I've been an Arsenal fan since 98, 99 season, and it's been a really long journey,
Yeah.
sometimes really painful as well. But once you start loving a club, right, it's very difficult to change your club or look down to anything else, right? So it's been a good journey for me. I have learned a lot about football, especially over the last 1 decade. Interacting with fellow fans, interacting with fans of other clubs as well. And thanks to Twitter, I think it gives an easy medium for a lot of people, to keep sharing their opinions, their thoughts, and understand the game a bit better. That's what this space is about as well.
I think that's well put about Twitter as well, because yeah, I think there is a lot of opinions on football on Twitter, but I guess some work, some don't work, just because we all know, like, social media is not the is not probably the best place to look at all the opinions about football, but because
Right.
there are a lot of hatred comments who come over there as well. But yeah, let's talk about some happiness, about Arsenal. I think Arsenal, as I mentioned, like, we all thought that, Arteta should be sacked. I think based on the number of years that the club had, provided to, like, provided to him, and we just felt like, yeah, this maybe he just needs another bit of experience somewhere else, and then maybe come back and manage a club like Arsenal, just to take it back to that glory level that Arsenal were under Arsene Wenger. But again, there's been a lot of changes for my club as well. In terms of Manchester United, but for somehow, like, these two clubs are sticking by their manager, and seeing where this project takes them to. But after that heavy defeat to Manchester City, 5-0, things have definitely changed for good. We still felt like the next game against Norwich City, where they won 1-0, they had a lot of possession, but given how Norwich were at that time and still are, so we definitely didn't take a lot out of that game. But I guess, like, things started to improve. There was a run of clean sheets that Arsenal had. I think their most important signing, which probably rambled on for the entirety of the transfer window, and it obviously happened on transfer deadline day, which was Aaron Ramsdale. That definitely has made a lot of difference, and it just shows you when you have a good goalkeeper in terms of at the back, things definitely change for good. And you can talk about a lot of the clubs in the past that have done that, and you can see you can see the success that they've had. But what do you think in terms of the changes that Arteta has made, and given this nine run, I think nine unbeaten run that you guys are on, what has changed, and how did he change for Arsenal, and went on this spectacular run?
Okay. So obviously, Arsenal situation is a complex situation, right?
Hmm.
First of all, I'm not one of those guys who goes and says Arteta out. I'm not. So I'll always have a bit of soft corner for the current management, and the
Hmm.
reason is taking out that transitioning out from a Wenger era was always going to be difficult, and we have seen with Manchester United, right? It's still been 7-8 years, and it's still a process, right? It goes on. Going out of a
Huh.
manager who's been in your club and who's taken on so many responsibilities, it's never going to be easy. And secondly, we had a lot of characteristics which people kept on pointing out when it came to Arsenal. We are soft, right? Arsenal was always considered to be soft in the middle, at the back, right? We were always going to have one style of play. We were always going to attack, attack, attack. It did not matter which is the opposition. We never sat back, right? So there are a lot of characteristics or weaknesses which were inherently there in the Wenger team. When Wenger
Hmm.
left, right? And it was important for us to move out of those characteristics. While Emery tried, Emery was not a brilliant signing, most of us knew, but he was a transitional coach, right? He was always going to be a coach who will help you maybe solidify things a bit, but he was never going to be a coach who will make Arsenal a league winner, right? And that was
Short
one
term
of
fix.
he
Short
was
term
always
fix,
a short-term
basically.
fix. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
While the club thought about the next signing, and unfortunately things went much more downhill than it should have. But Arsenal had a lot of problems when it characters like people like Ozil, Guendouzi, right? One person or another making comments, a lot of negativity around the team as well, right? So when Arteta came in, he came in into a very difficult setup. Everyone knows Arteta as a very intellectual person, a very technical manager, right? Which normally I do not hear with Ole. But Arteta, I know, is a tactical coach. He will create systems. He will create, tactics that may or
Yeah.
may not work, right? Because
J-
tactics alone will not win you matches. So personal will
Mhm.
also play a factor. And unfortunately, thanks to COVID, Arsenal could not reshuffle out that team, the Wenger team, very easily. It took us
Yeah.
time, and that for me was the reason that I kept saying it is too early to for us to push out Arteta. While I knew, yes, things were not great, but the fact that Arsenal in the second half of last season, they still managed to get the second most points in the league. They only got points, the highest points after Manchester City, and they did it in very unfashionable way. We did not attack a lot. We did not score a lot of goals. We were not attractive enough, but we were still ticking along. And that came after the introduction of Smith Rowe and Odegaard. And the fact is, this team lacked certain skill sets. We lacked attacking players. We lacked good wingers. These these 2 years we have been struggling to fill in these skill sets. And the reason that I like Arteta and Edu as well, it's not Arteta, it's the entire
Hmm.
team that works on it. They identified the skill sets well. We are not blindly throwing money. The management prior to this was all about establishing a relationship with agents, with super agents, bringing in top class players, spending 80 million on a Pepe, where we're still not sure whether whenever we talk about wingers, right, we purely think it's a winger, right?
Yeah.
But wingers are of different types, people who play wide, people who cut in, right? There are different skill sets that these wingers also provide, right? These thoughts were not seen when it came to the hiring of Arsenal 2, 3, 4, 5 years back. But those thought process started since last summer window. In last summer window, we got only two players, Thomas Partey and Gabriel, the Brazilian defender. Both the signings were very astute signings. Thomas Partey brought some sort of stability into the midfield, while he has been injury prone, especially last year, because he did not have a proper summer also. Premier League did not have a proper break, also summer break because of COVID, right? We only had 2 weeks break and the season started, right? And he was injury prone, but there were a lot of games. For example, last season the Old Trafford match, while we won only 1-0 and with a penalty, but we won after a long time at Old Trafford. And what I could see is, the skill set that these players brought, right? Performance wise, I was very happy with Arsenal, performance. While that was only 1-0, I felt it could have been 2-0, it could have been 3-0 if players delivered. Aubameyang form, there are a lot of things which kept going against Arteta. So we were thinking that, maybe it would be down to luck. Maybe Arteta would be able to turn things around. Maybe things will fall into place for him. Or else, the run will be too long for, the Arsenal management to sit idle, right? Like it happened with Emery. But the good thing about Arteta is he's a good man manager, you will when it comes to the players that have been brought in, when it comes to the senior players of the team, most of the players now in this team, they really believe in him, right? Even
Mhm.
when we were 3 defeats down, we were 20th in the table, right? And the fans were sacking Arteta house. You could you could see the players coming and saying, hey, hold on, we believe in this guy, we have messed up. And then I also see that, the fact that we played Chelsea and Manchester City, these are the two finalists of UCL, right, Champions League last year. We are not of that level. We have to accept it, right? We should not have
I think
lost any.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. I think I don't even think it's about the level. It's just I think there were a lot of players who were missing for Arteta at that time. Even if you go back and look at Brentford, I think Lacazette and Aubameyang were out of COVID.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I mean, there's a bunch of things that were happening in the first three four in the first three games, I would say, and then after the international break, I think everyone was available to Arteta, and obviously things have changed after that. So
Yeah.
you can't really and I still say that if you go back and play those three games again, I don't think there will be that those same kind of results. I don't really think that. Maybe there will be still, but I just don't still feel that Arsenal would have still same kind of results. Oh, but and we briefly mentioned about the best signing that Arsenal has had up until now. I think the player of the season for me up until now has been Aaron Ramsdale. How 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 have you felt from burnt Leno to to Aaron Ramsdale? Because I have been like very vocal on my podcast saying that burnt Leno should be removed and maybe bring in just a academy player from Arsenal's academy and just play him because he is full of shit. Like I saw the first couple of games that Arsenal played against Brentford and Chelsea. Man, that guy does not know how to do goalkeeping, and it's not only for these couple of games. I think it was like previous seasons as well, where it was building up to that. Like you remember that I think you remember that second goal that Brentford scored against Arsenal. That like any goalkeeper in the world should have some kind of senses, that how he would want to make that save. Like, but he was like out of his senses and he didn't really know what to do that. But you come back to Aaron Ramsdale and you see that couple of weeks ago, that wonder save that everyone's talking about against Leicester City, and against it was a double save because I think Jamie Vardy tried to again nick that in. So how have you felt about Aaron Ramsdale? And in and again, this question is probably even wrong to ask. Like, do you think that it has been a really really good signing? Obviously, it has been. But what have you made of Aaron Ramsdale and his his uh, his um, his partnership with Ben White as well? Because I think they both are actually driving a lot of Arsenal's attack that they've been doing. Because you see that in the games. But what do you feel about that?
Correct. Like I said, skill set is very important when it comes to Arteta and Edu. They have been trying to play football a correct, particular way, and I really believe in that. When you look at managers like Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, right? They are all playing the ball from the back, right?
Yeah.
And they're launching attacks in certain ways. Obviously, there are certain nuances to all these coaches, but there is a commonality to a football nowadays, right? So it was important for us to move to that setup. Bernd Leno cannot say that because he's not good with the good with ball at his feet. He's not very good with passing, right? He kept on giving the ball away when it came to counter chances, opportunities. In fact, last season there was this time where we were up against Wolves 1-0 away, and it was the 45th minute, and he went out and threw hit the ball directly to a Wolves player, and in that
And they
extra time,
scored.
in 30 seconds, we got a man down and we considered from penalty, right? All this because a goalkeeper did not hit it. So it was important for us to replace that and bring in a player of that skill set, someone who's good with the ball, who can give us a Ederson kind of ability, right? Ederson, Allison kind of ability, right? Who can directly help you launch attacks and not just make saves. Bernd Leno can make one-on-one saves. He will be decent one-on-one saver, a good stopper, I would say. But when it comes to handling balls from the corners, from free kicks, right, these are all his deficiencies, and we needed to replace him. And the fact that we replaced him with a player which was highly criticized by Arsenal fans, on social media, right? Everyone, people in fact went and started attacking Aaron Ramsdale on his Insta handle before he had
Yes.
signed for us, right?
Hmm.
The fact that they still went ahead with the conviction that the skill set is correct, the character is correct, and we will go ahead and we'll prove it correct, right? And within 7 weeks, it has come out that well. It really makes me happy, right? It makes because it is very easy for coaches to say, okay, this player is getting a lot of bad vibes from media or management to say, let's not go ahead with it, just because currently the vibes are not good. But the fact that they understood that the importance of skills and needs of this team is paramount above anything else. They went ahead and proved it. That for me, proves why Arteta can be a good manager for Arsenal, right? And Aaron Ramsdale has been immense. The way he has helped us in attacks, the way he identifies Aubameyang, Emily Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, right, directly with balls, both high and low. The fact that he really throws up that small, low height balls as well, and cuts part the entire middle of the opposition. It is very important and very vital to have such midfielders, because now it helps us speed the attack of Arsenal. Because last year we were one of the slowest attacking teams, in our build-ups. This year it has changed dramatically.
You know, the emergence of Emil Smith Rowe. I think when he was handed the number 10 shirt before the season, a lot of us were like, maybe this is not the right choice. Maybe he will not be able to, live up to that expectation. To an extent, people were right, because he was not. But I guess in the previous 3 to 4 weeks, I think he's definitely stepped it up, and he's showing that he is a really really good player, and he is a future star for England and for Arsenal as well. What do you think in terms of his levels and his like his heights? Where can Emil Smith Rowe reach? And to develop, is Arteta the best manager under which he should play, or he should like get a player, get a coach like Guardiola or Tuchel? Like, if you see with Mason Mount and Phil Foden, like the levels that they've that they've reached, for their respective clubs, and obviously now their countries as well.
See, I would be a bit bold and I'll say Smith Rowe can be a Bruno one day. Okay. We are still 5 years or 4 years behind it, but I feel
Okay.
that that is his level. That is his potential, to be a world class player for sure.
Hmm.
Why, this is Arsenal way, they focus on youth, but somehow we have not been doing it for the last 5, 6 years. If you look at our academy, 2010 to 2020, uh, hardly any players came out of that academy. The only player I could think of was Hector Bellerin, but again, he was not a pure academy player. He was brought in from La Masia, integrated for a couple of years, and then pushed out, right? And
Yeah.
the only player who played regularly was Alex Iwobi, right? A very forgettable player. So the fact that we went back again and turned the time around, now we have players like Saka, Smith Rowe, and there are still more good players coming out of that academy. Players that Arsenal fans are aware of, right? But we are yet to show it to the world, right? Once they come in, there will be more surprises. But Smith Rowe was a person, Arsenal fans were banking on for the last 2 years, waiting for him to come out of the shadow, because we had seen what he was doing at academy level, even on loan when he went on loan deals, right? That skill is very important. The fact that he knows, he understands spaces, right? He drops into those half spaces. The fact that he can turn around at any point of time, be it left or right, dribble the ball very well, right? Those are very important skills to have as a modern day, attacking midfielder, right? And Smith Rowe has all the correct skills, right?
Yes.
Whether he develops under Arteta or not, I think the start has been good. When I looked at him last year, right, he was very poor when it came to, taking the shooting opportunities, right? And Arsenal were just not getting any goals from the midfields, right? He was just, sharing the ball across, right? He was not taking that final decision. He's
Yeah.
good with his passes. I still feel, there is a lot of improvement when it comes to the final, pass, right? When you look at number 10s in this world, you think of them as, best ball passes, right? Between the defenses. He's not that kind of guy yet. Odegaard is much better as a player when it comes to, passing the ball between the defenders. Saka is much better as a player when it comes to passing the ball between the defenders. Smith Rowe will still develop that. But when it comes to, spaces, moving around, picking the ball, cutting past players and creating opportunities for your players, for your other team members, or taking that shot. I think Smith Rowe started developing. Potential is
Yeah.
really high. Under Arteta, I already see that understanding of game improving. Right, whether that will continue or not, it's still a long shot for us to say
Yeah.
now. Maybe a
I
season later.
Definitely. I think you're right because I feel like a lot of like I feel like a lot of the fans and even the pundits who actually speak on these big sporting channels, they get a little bit restless. I feel like you should, given his age and given the pressure that he has, because he is an England international, he will get that pressure from media and from pundits
For
and
sure.
from fans as well, right? It's just that you need to give that player a little bit of a time, because you cannot expect a player to develop mid-season, right? He will work on his game. He is working on his game with the coaches, with the managers of the club, right? But you need to give him a little bit of time when he works on that off season, when he has that off season, when he will work on certain things, certain aspects of his game. Then you will see his his play at another level, obviously. If you
Right.
see there is no change from the last season, then probably people can question him that you're not delivering at the level that we expected you to. So maybe you're not a really good player. And also I still feel that you talk about Chelsea's and Manchester Cities. I mean, they have loads of money, man. Like, I feel like the player cannot do everything by himself. Yes, you will see it, but maybe you will not see it in terms of the statistics, right? Because when you see statistics, you're like, oh yeah, he provided what 2015 assists and scored 10 goals in the game. Yes, he was brilliant that season. He was a good player, but sometimes you need to look past the statistics and actually see what his games were, what were his key passes. He's not the one who's going to be who's supposed to be scoring the goals for Arsenal, right? It's the attacking it is the attacking players who need to do that. Like, I mean, attacking players, he's one of the attacking players, but I'm talking about the strikers of Arsenal, right? So you need to look
Correct.
at that perspective as well. Like, I really think that his game has developed under Arteta, and he still has a long way to go before we can classify him as a, you say, as a world class player. He has still a very very long way to go. But I guess Arteta is doing a good job with, like, um all the young players within the team. I guess when Arsenal were having that torrid run last season, I think it was 7 8 games in a row when they lost or did not win. But when in the Europa League, I think he won 6 out of 6 with the young player squad that he was playing. So I guess Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe, all were playing in that competition rather than the Premier League. But when he brought back the players to the Premier League, then you started seeing the results in the opposite direction, right? So obviously, like, he's doing a good. I feel like Arteta is doing a good job, and in that direction. But again, like, we'll see. There is a lot of the season that's left, and this upcoming game against Liverpool will show us a lot of Arteta's uh, um, you know what do you call this? I'm forgetting the
Metal.
word. Yes, Arteta's metal, that how he performs in those big games. Because I feel like for the longest time we've not seen. I think the last time that they performed in a big game was against Chelsea when they defeated them in the FA Cup. Yeah. After
Even
that,
the
this is
Premier League last year.
yeah. I think they did a double, right, on
Yeah,
Chelsea.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So But I guess I'm not going to get into that because I guess like they were still going through that transition period against in Lampard as well. So,
Yeah,
but but in terms of the big games, we really haven't seen Arteta perform. Arteta's Arsenal perform at that level. But let's see, let's see how they perform. But what do you but and what are you making, since we're talking about the Liverpool game as well? What are you making of that Liverpool game, and what are you expecting from that Liverpool game? Are you really already expecting a loss, or you still feel, or you do you feel that that game is going to be competitive enough, because given Mo Salah has been at a different level,
yeah,
but there are cracks in that Liverpool team. And do you
yeah.
think that Arsenal can can break that?
Yeah. So last year when we played, Liverpool, especially the away match, I remember. I think we lost 3-1 or something. But I remember, we were just not able to get out of the press that Liverpool had. They really, choke your midfield team, right? And it's very difficult to get the ball out to our attackers, to just create anything, right? And also to relieve the pressure from the defense, because no defense can, sustain a 90-minute continuous attack of Salah, Mane, and Jota or Firmino, right? And
Yes.
Trent. The class is
Yes.
just too good, right? You just have to have the ball in the other half for some time for even the defenders to have a breather, right? To maintain their concentration levels. And something that was really interesting to see is the addition of a player called Lokonga, right? Now Lokonga is still not a player that is still highly talked about in the circles, right? Because he's not going to be goal scorer, right? Like Emil Smith Rowe. But the guy is very good in ball retention and very
Yes.
similar to Thomas Partey. He has a very good passing ability. He can put down those long aerial passes to a winger. He can make short passes between the midfielders, to find Smith Rowe, to find Saka, to find the left back, right? So we only had Thomas Partey do that last year, and he was injured. This year, unfortunately, now Thomas Partey is injured. He missed the last match. I'm still waiting. There is still a good chance that he'll come back for the Liverpool match. If we have a Lokonga and Thomas Partey, midfield duo, I think it will be really interesting to see how Arsenal break that press, cut past that press and create attacking opportunity for Smith Rowe, for Saka, for Aubameyang. Because I think when we looked at Spurs match as well, people kept thinking we were blowing Spurs away. We did not blow Spurs away. We waited for correct opportunity and we took them. Every time we got them, we took them, right? And when you play a team like Liverpool, that's what you have to do. You will not get a lot of opportunities. You get them, you have to take them, right?
Yes.
So that will be interesting for me to see, how much we have developed in, breaking the press, in moving past the press, in the ability to retain the ball. Whether Aaron Ramsdale will be able to, find Aubameyang directly, Saka directly, which Leno did not do last year. Whether Ben White will be able
Yes.
to do it. Whether
Yeah.
Ben White can run past the entire midfield like he's doing it against the smaller mid teams, right? Where he's
Yes.
taking the ball, running past two, three players, and then setting up a counter, right? If we are able to do that, then you really believe in Arsenal chances this season. So that development stage, we have to see where we are, and there is
Yeah.
no better test than Liverpool.
I think you're spot on, because I think what Liverpool does is press, and it just freaks the hell out of a lot of teams, because you just don't know how to handle that. I'm not still sure if Arteta would be able to handle that, but I guess given the form that they're in, there's a sense of belief within that team and the fans that we would be able to do something with that Liverpool team, right?
Correct, correct.
Maybe I'm entirely wrong. Maybe I'm entirely wrong, but I just feel like the game, sports, any kind of sport, like it's all about momentum. Even if you have the momentum, if your dressing room's happy, if your players are happy, I think they will go onto the pitch saying that yes, we can defeat we can defeat Liverpool or any big team. But if you're very low on confidence, like my team is at the moment, you just feel like every game you run into is going to be a defeat. um Last, I think, just finally, I just wanted to ask you about Aubameyang and Ben White as well. I think Aubameyang, when he signed the contract extension last season, it has just been a downfall for him. But this season he's come back to life, and he's showing that what Aubameyang can do, right? He has been prolific in terms of attacking. But he's not scored a lot of goals. I would not say that he scored, like a couple of goals or every other game. But he's been good. His involvement within the game, within the attacking threat, is making me happier, because I really like Aubameyang as a striker. But what have you made in terms of his, and what changes he has made to his game, and the team that Arteta has made, that he's getting involved more?
Yeah, I think last year, first of all, we played him a lot on the left, completely on the left as a winger, right? That did
Hmm.
not help, Aubameyang. Then by the time we had the emergence of Smith Rowe, Aubameyang had some family issues. He had malaria, so there were constant interruptions, which somehow, killed the entire Aubameyang momentum. But I think he did pretty decent in the end, last 10 weeks of last season. So especially, I had seen, I think he scored a hat trick against Leeds. So I could understand that there will be emergence back, and he's a world class player, right? Even if we forget that because of one season, he's had more than 25 goals every season for almost 5 6 years now continuously, except last one season.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he, within 1 year of coming to PL, he was joint boot, golden boot winner as well, right? 22 goals. So he has 2 seasons of 20 plus goals in Premier League. So we can see that he can do it. Currently we are using him in the right setup. He's playing with players who are strong, flexible, able to put in those final balls. And what helps is I can see that Aubameyang himself is interested to prove himself, right? For example, if I'll give you an example, right? When it came to Ronaldo, right? United lost that Liverpool match, and the next match was Spurs, and everyone was, and FPL, everyone was selling Ronaldo. I bought Ronaldo that week. I bought Ronaldo that week purely because I know Ronaldo is a world class player, right?
Yes.
And when it comes to when the chips are down, world class players they always come back strong, right? That is what makes them different, right? And I feel this is a season that Aubameyang will prove the same thing, right? His chips were down last season. You can see his involvement. You can see his pressing numbers. You don't see his goals, right? He's still at 4 to 5 goals. But when it comes to the pressing numbers, the kind of recoveries he's doing, the number of tackles he's doing, that has already gone up significantly over last season. I did a small thread for one of our Twitter pages, worth the hit, last week, where I wrote about
Mhm.
Aubameyang. The intrinsic numbers for Aubameyang is already at the level of the season before, where he had 20 plus goals. I expect this to be a 20 plus goal season for Aubameyang this again.
Well, I mean, if he has a 20 plus goal season, I think you can definitely expect Arsenal to be
Yeah.
in and around the Champions
No,
League
no, no, no.
Champions League spots, definitely, if he scores 20 plus goals. And what about Ben White? I think that was a really good signing. I feel like, based on the defensive performances that Arsenal had in the last couple of seasons, I would say he's definitely found a way. Arteta, their backline. I think he now plays Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, and Kieran Tierney. Right? He's definitely found a system, found the players, because that was one of the problems that I was having. Like, he was not able to figure out his playing 11, which was probably providing a lot of inconsistencies within the team. Because if you don't have a solid, I feel like a solid backline with the goalkeeper involved, if you don't have that laid down, I think you struggle in a lot of games, because there is basically no connection, there's no partnership within the center backs, and nobody's communicating with anyone. I mean, they are communicating, but the communication is not there. Like, now when you see Ben White and Gabriel play together, you see that telepathy thing, right? It's like, we know what you're going to do, so like the player is actually already defending that guy if he is actually moving forward and pressing for the ball. But what have you made for Ben White in these first couple of months, 3 months?
So Arteta has been good in creating defensive structures. Okay, to ensuring that whenever we lose the ball, we have someone to cover it. Right? He has
Hmm.
all those good things, right? But that's end of the day, we require our defense to set up attacks, right?
Yes.
And we had last year we had Rob Holding play that role in the RCB. He used to go out, right? He'll step out, but he'll find it very difficult when he loses the ball. He miss passes, right? And we saw that during our preseason matches against Chelsea, Rob Holding kept losing the ball, right? So we were waiting for someone like Ben White to come along, because it's important for your defenders to be able to find your wingers when required, find your midfielders when required, right? And today in today's football, right, no one is a defender, everyone is attacker, right? Even your goalkeeper helps in attack, right? That's the
Yeah.
kind of football we see, right? While obviously you will have people playing in certain positions, that positions keeps on changing. There's a lot of fluidity. And Ben
Mhm.
White helps us in that fluidity. He not only is a very good passer, he's a good dribbler as well. That helps. I have seen, three, four, five instances now where he runs past the attacker, he runs past the midfielder, he gets into the opposition, close to the third half, or the final third, and then he, gives that final pass, right? These kind of opportunities are, these kind of, players are very vital to have, because you need to have variability in your attacks, right? You cannot always have, three players attacking, right? When it comes to teams like Liverpool, when it comes to teams like Manchester City, if we see Manchester City last year, when they're playing deep press, you saw John Stones almost reaching the opposition D box, right? Many times last year, right?
Yes.
Those qualities are important to have as a player. Maybe you don't need it every time, but in some matches you need
Some
it,
matches. Yes.
and Ben White gives us that option.
That's that's well put. I hope, really hope that Arsenal have a really good season. Just don't snatch that the Champions League spots from Manchester United, because I really want them to be playing in Champions League as well. So, but yeah, Sankalp, I would really like to thank you to come on to the Late Winner Show and speak about Arsenal. Definitely, really good insights on Arsenal, Arteta, and a lot of the players that have come up in these first couple of months for Arsenal. I really enjoyed the discussion. I hope all our viewers as well did enjoy the discussion. Before we do log off, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Late Winner Show. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter for all loads of content that we put up on our YouTube channel and Insta and Twitter. We do we're doing, obviously we're doing our FPL shows as well, so please make sure that you do watch them as well, and let us know if you, what else would you like to see from the Late Winner Show, if you're really enjoying the content. But that being said, Sankalp, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again for coming onto the pod, and yeah, we should definitely do this again.
Sure, definitely. Thank you.
Right, good night.
Good night.